episode 18. We are here. It feels weird to have a mic in between us, but it's because we'll introduce you to our guest coming up.
Yeah.
Episode 18, season 2. We're back.
We are back. It's August.
It didn't feel like August, though.
Without a doubt, my absolute least favorite month of the year.
I'm glad you brought this in, and we'll wait. But coming up later in the episode, I want to rate our top 5 months.
Okay.
Our top 3 and then the least top 3. We'll do that with our guests.
All right. Well, for me, it is absolutely August. Like the excitement of summer's done. We're just in that sort of in the dog days. We're kind of getting close to the heart of hurricane season, but it's still kind of quiet. I just hate it. I hate it.
Also, all these lights make you look like you're radiating right now.
I am.
Also, I feel weird because I'm looking at you this way. August is awful. The humidity's awful.
Yep.
I still think July's humidity sometimes can be worse. Of course, August just started, so watch. I'll eat my words on that. But yeah, it's been good. You get a little tease toward like pumpkin spice lattes are coming up soon.
Yeah.
Fall's coming soon. The Halloween stuff's laid out. Are you a fall fan?
I'm a big fall fan.
Okay, me too.
Big fall fan. So it's getting close. We know that
It's a tease.
to me, it's like the end of summer is near,
Yep.
and eventually we will be out of this miserable stretch that we go through every summer. It at least makes me miserable.
Yeah.
Especially in August.
Back to school?
Back to school, can't believe it.
There were kids that went back on the 31st.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
I will say, but get this out early. Like, subscribe, share, comment,
Do all of it.
rate it.
Yeah.
You all have been awesome. I think 1,500 downloads is what we're approaching.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It's more than the 10 we thought we would get.
I apologize for not being on the live YouTube premiere last Thursday. I was on vacation.
Which is understandable.
And I think I was probably sipping a Cosmo somewhere.
Bringing it back. Bringing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'll be back. Now I'm back. Had
How
my week
was
vacation.
how was the staycation?
It was good. Normally, the last week of July, I take off somewhere. It's kind of my vacation before the heart of hurricane season comes in.
Okay.
And I'll go somewhere and, exotic and fun. This year I was like, no, I'm tired. I'm going to stay home. And I did spend an entire 7 days at home. Went to some great restaurants around town. Took in some happy hours, a lot of beach time. A couple of Cosmos here and there.
Yeah.
And it was good.
It always
was good.
feels good, too, when you come back like you're refreshed and rejuvenated.
Right. Because most vacations you come back and like, I need another vacation
Yes.
to relax. I actually came back from this one feeling pretty refreshed, which is good because it's been a crazy week so far.
Yeah, August is crazy, too.
August is always
teaser,
crazy.
I do want to say, we
Yeah.
got a really cool message.
You read my mind. This absolutely made...
We can end the
our
podcast
day.
now.
We could, yeah. This is great. So a special little shout out. We got an email and a message on Facebook last week from Bonnie Walker. And I'm just going to read the first paragraph of this email because it was beautiful. I have a weather-obsessed 7.5-year-old son who has recently discovered your Are You Cirrus podcast. As he listened to the first episode, he said, it's like looking into my future. He loved hearing you describe how you got into weather and landed on his dream job as a meteorologist. So with that, I want to give a very big special shout out and hello to Charlie Walker in Leesburg, Virginia. There's your Are You Cirrus shout out. We're so happy for you, and we are going to work and talk with him and see if we can't work something out to get Charlie maybe as a guest on the podcast. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I think that would be great.
I think that would be cool.
Inspiring young minds.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Not to mention, too, it was awesome to say, hey, 7.5-year-old, but it wasn't even in South Carolina.
Yeah,
from
Leesburg, Virginia. Yeah.
Which was awesome and cool to see. I also got a message on my page from Dolores, which she has commented a couple times on some of our stuff, said I had no idea what this Are You Serious stuff that you all were saying was, but I just started episode 17 and now I'm going in reverse.
I've heard a couple people say that. They're like going back. They're just now kind of stumbling upon us, and they're going back and watching the full series now. So that's cool.
I absolutely love that. Well, I'm excited about today.
Yeah.
Because this is our first, we talked about when we did podcast, we want to make this more of telling people stories
Yep.
and something that's not just WMBF. This is our first non-WMBF guest? I say
Yes.
non because some people have probably seen this person a couple times.
I'm sure they have. He's also blowing up in popularity. He's
Coming for our jobs.
Yeah, coming for our jobs. He's still a little young, so we got a couple years.
Okay.
But our first non-WMBF guest is Will Rowe. You may know Will Rowe from Will's Weather. An absolute weather prodigy.
Yeah.
At your age, you're 16? 17.
17.
17.
Yeah.
17.
I
have to
say
keep
16,
reminding
but he
myself.
just had a birthday.
17. At 17, I was still playing in the mud and digging in the dirt and not doing weather forecasts.
Yeah.
Not doing everything that you're doing. And it is absolutely incredible. So we figured we got to have Will on. And loyal WMBF viewers probably seen Will on our Facebook pages. He's been here, loves to come by, hang out with us, help us out. I put him to work now. Like when he shows, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to be at the beach. Can I swing by the station?" I'm like, "Yeah, come on by. Here's your list of work."
And
he jumps right in.
And then just put it together for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
But trust me, I still get my fair share of playing in the dirt and stuff.
Well,
so.
yeah, you do. You do. Football player.
I do,
From Columbia, just outside of Columbia, Blythewood,
Yeah, I'm in Ridgeway.
Ridgeway.
I was just say Columbia because I forget
Yeah,
what
That's
yeah.
exactly what I do.
Yeah.
No one knows where that is.
So, like I said, Will just an absolute prodigy as far as weather. Let's jump into it.
Yeah.
When did you know that weather was your thing?
When I was about 3 years old.
3.
So I would watch the news with my Nana. There was Joe Penner on Friday afternoons at the noon, and just watching him, even though he wasn't a real meteorologist, he was just inspiring to me. And I'd try to copy him. I'd grab a map and then just start drawing stuff on the map. And eventually, whenever I was old enough to get a computer, I would look up weather radars and all that, and kind of just learned my way around it, visited some other meteorologists, went to the National Weather Service in Columbia, and they taught me how to forecast. So ever since then, I've been forecasting and all.
Yeah, and not at 17, not just
Yeah.
like sort of reading a forecast. The dude is actually making his forecast. You build all your graphics.
I do.
And they look clean.
Yeah.
They look
It's-
better than some TV stations in America.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of a perfectionist, so like, it has to be perfect. If
Right.
it's not perfect, I'm not going to post it.
Right. You're also better than some meteorologists on the air. And you're like,
This is where we get in
I'm
trouble,
not.
Will.
Yeah.
But he's right.
you are. It's incredible. It's incredible. And I think that speaks to the true weather aficionados, the geeks. It's just in you, and you have it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
And I know that's absolutely the case for you. You do like severe weather coverage, but for
I
the
do.
whole state.
Yeah,
So if there's a
so-
tornado warning, you're in Columbia, there's a tornado warning in Horry County or Oconee County, you're literally on the air doing
Yeah,
it.
it was like, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
weeks
There
ago,
was
yeah.
one near Lake Moultrie.
Yeah.
As soon as that went on, I ran up to my studio because I wasn't in there. And I was like, oh, okay then.
Yeah.
You heard that right, too. His studio.
His studio.
Talk about that because I remember the first time I met you.
Yeah.
Jamie told me and was like, hey, this is Will. He has his own studio. And I just thought, because when you think about it, oh, studio, okay, whatever,
right.
until you see it.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the process like in doing the studio and the graphics and your own thing? This is all you.
So my friend's grandma sent an email to WIS, your sister station in Columbia, and one of the meteorologists, he was the morning meteorologist at the time, he's the chief now, he emailed me back and was like, we'd love to have you in for an interview. And so I went in, did the interview, and I've never been in a news studio at that point. So I was like, this is cool. Wonder if I can do this on my own.
Yeah.
So Amazon,
Right.
Joann's to get the green sheet and put it up. I started with like a desktop and the green. I had to find a camera, got the camera. It was kind of horrible at the beginning, but just gradually worked my way through, and now I'm doing what I'm doing now. I got like 7 screens going, so I have
The
stuff
studio's
going
literally
everywhere.
nicer than ours. It's nicer than ours.
But yeah, like I put together the graphics, just threw together something in 2020 before this, because
Yeah.
that was in 2021 whenever I made the studio. Just threw something together, you know, it was what it is. Then gradually just started working on them, like, I don't like that, let's fix it. and then keeps going, and now I got what I have, and just keep going,
That's impressive.
I try to put my own spin on some of the stuff you do. Like some of the stuff I have, I try to throw it in there.
Yeah, Will text me. He's like, "Hey, what do you think about this graphic? What do you
Yep.
think about this?" And yeah, it's amazing. But it goes a step further.
Yeah.
You're making money.
I am.
Making money at 17 years old. You have sponsorships.
I have
So people
sponsorships.
pay for their basically advertising on your forecast. That blows my mind.
And then people send me stars, like whenever I'm doing certain stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like, I think it's a cent a star. So I had probably $10 in there. And I just got a notification on Facebook the other day. I can put ads in my videos and get money from people interacting on my stuff. So I'm
So
trying
Will,
to set that up.
I'll tell you this right now. I don't know where your career's going because it's very bright. But I will tell you, I have a buddy who started the exact same way he did, much later in life. Now has his own website. He's the #1 weather resource for that area. Does weather videos, forecast discussions, and that's his full-time gig.
Yep.
You don't even have to go into TV
You don't anymore, and that's
to make
great.
an impact and money in this business. And to be 17 now and doing that.
So I have a very dear friend up in New Jersey, Nick Pittman.
Yeah.
AKA, if you're from that area or been in that area, southern New Jersey, Nor'easter Nick is his name. He sort of got tired of the corporate side of the big TV industry, so
Yeah.
he kind of did the same thing, sort of stepped out on his own. Amazing home studio, and has been working on this for years, and it's just a powerhouse in New Jersey. Also, more or less makes a living from the sponsorships that he gets doing the forecast. You actually went up and visited
Yeah, you put me in
Nick.
contact with them, and
Yeah.
I went up there last summer.
Yeah, and he's the one who kind of hooked you up with the sponsorship and how to make all that happen. So
Actually, last year, I was up there.
oh yeah,
So,
so shout out to Nor'easter Nick.
I'm just sitting here like, what was I doing?
Yeah, I know.
With myself.
Nothing. Being a stupid 17-year-old was what I was doing. I mean, I was looking at the clouds and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd thumb through some weather books, but I wasn't trying to make money. And
I vividly remember being in college and trying to not even go down the same path you're going, just to make a video, because I knew at that point I wanted to do broadcast meteorology on PowerPoint.
Yeah.
And after like 2 days, this is too much work.
yeah,
Re-editing graphics and dragging, I was like, nope, I'm done.
I've been through that phase.
So
several
for you
times.
to do that and persevere through it is awesome. I do want to bring a thing that most people may not know about you. You come by WMBF a lot.
I do.
But it's not just WMBF. You're everywhere.
I
Every
do,
time I
yeah.
see a photo from you, you're at a different station. What are some of the stations you've been by?
Let's see, I've been to all the ones here in this market, all the ones in Columbia. I've been up to one in Charlotte. Went to see Nor'easter Nick in New Jersey. I know there's not a news station there, but
Yeah.
he's basically
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Let's see, I've been to CIV down in Charleston. I actually went there 2 weeks ago. I visit them often. I think that's all the news stations I've been to, and I've been to the National Weather Service in Columbia and Melbourne, Florida.
So let me ask you this, because maybe this will be a good perspective for someone that we're in TV. We're kind of engraved into it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for us to answer this question. People ask us a lot, like, what's some of the things from the inside TV perspective, now that you've been to all these stations, that you really enjoy? Or something that's really stood out, like, oh, I love how this station does that. You don't have to say the station.
I like
And I didn't say hate, I said
Yeah.
love, okay?
I like the conversations that go on behind the scenes. That's like the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you hear some things, you hear different things.
Yeah.
And one station could say something, and then the other one.
Oh, you're
says
talking about in the
something
same
completely
market.
Different.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
as far as production goes, I like seeing the different studios and getting like
Right.
ideas for like
Yeah.
designs and stuff. Because maybe one day I'll redesign something and come up with it.
And I think we're going to tie it back to Charlie. Because, you know, we joke and stuff, but it's 16 and 17. We were the same. Yeah, we weren't like this,
No.
but we knew that we had it in us. So for the Charlies out there and for the young ones out there, just do whatever you can to immerse yourself. If this is something you feel like you're really passionate about and want to do, just immerse yourself in it. I think that was not that I'm this huge success, but I also started my internships really early. My first internship at a TV station was literally the summer before I started college, and I was too dumb to really realize what an opportunity it was. But I think just being in the setting, especially if you want to go into the TV broadcast route, just sort of letting it sink in, because a TV studio can be very intimidating if you're walking in for the first time.
Yeah, especially at that age.
Especially at that age,
Yeah.
but just letting it soak in, get as much as you can, and we're here to help out. We have people all the time. Hey, can we swing by? Hey, can we pop by? We love that. If it's going to encourage someone to get into the business and to foster that, or maybe get someone to say, "Ooh, no, this is not for me," that's okay too.
Yeah. Honestly, you need that moment.
You do.
I would rather
Yeah.
you have that moment with us
Yeah.
than go and pay for the tuition and the
Yeah.
college and then be like, dang.
No.
And I'll tell you this too. And Will can attest maybe to this. We're going to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
Like this is what we do. We're not going to sugarcoat it for you.
Yeah.
Like this is our job, and I would rather feel more satisfaction from someone coming in to shadow you or shadow me, and walk out of there and being like, yeah, that's not it. Rather than us fake it,
You're right.
and then they pay the tuition.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie and Andrew lied to me.
Yeah.
This isn't
Yeah.
what it is. I'm glad you
Yeah.
brought that up, because
Yeah.
I think of me at a young age. I felt like I was just a bubble that was like wasting air in
Yeah.
studios at
Yeah.
first. And I always tell myself now that when we bring people in, I kind of want to just go out of the way to be like, okay, hey, well, how can I help that person?
Yeah.
Once you feel that, I think that kind of changes things.
It
So
does.
And y'all make things fun too. So
try to.
It's not like they're just coming in and seeing like the typical thing. You actually
Right.
you actually like have conversations and
Yeah.
make stuff
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I'm here to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
What's your favorite playlist? I throw that on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, we'll have a good time for sure. And I think what's even more amazing
this is the We Love Will show.
is you're just kind of doing this until you get through college,
Yeah.
and then you want to go a different route.
Yeah.
Still in weather.
do, yeah.
But so what is the long-term Will plan?
I want to get into research meteorology. So I want
He
to go,
wants to be the
I want to
real
go
deal
out
meteorologist.
west and research tornadoes, severe
Yeah.
storms, and I don't know how it's going to work out because I've never actually been to like the research stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see if there's some way that you can develop better technology to track severe weather. That's what I really want to get into and try to focus on.
I love that. I really do.
I love it too, but it also just, it makes me tired.
It's a lot of school.
It's a lot of school.
Yeah.
But you're looking at Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oklahoma. Yep. Which is where the Storm Prediction Center is.
Awesome
so that's
campus.
that's the place. That's the place to do
And
it.
I'm trying to set up a visit out there because Adam Clark put me in contact with Patrick Marsh. He's one of the directors over there. So
I was
I've
about to
been
say I
emailing
know a
back and
couple people at
forth.
SBC,
Yeah.
but you know the man,
Yeah,
so
he's going to be able to walk in the door with no problem, like in a month.
they don't even know who we are, but they know who Will is. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So just doing the TV thing to get through college.
Yeah, pretty much.
Until he could go make the research money.
Get a head start on my career. You know.
Yeah.
Throw
That's
together,
awesome.
Throw together a little reel.
I do want to bring something to Jamie because Will said that he grew up at 3 watching weather with his Nana. Mm-hmm. Who was it for you, other than, I remember you talked about your grandma, who was it for you in TV that you looked up to or watched growing up?
It was my granny. I think my granny had what I have in her. She was just a naturally weather intuitive person. She obsessed about the weather. So I think it actually came from her. But growing up, the person I used to watch, Charlotte natives will remember this name, Ray Boylan.
Okay.
He was a Navy veteran. He actually also was a hurricane hunter. Got out of that, got into television a little bit late in life, and was the chief meteorologist at the ABC affiliate in Charlotte when Hurricane Hugo hit.
I remember this video.
Yeah, and they were the only station that managed to stay on the air in the Charlotte market when Hugo came through. Managed to stay on the air despite the fact that their transmission tower blew over and landed on the building, and they still managed to stay on air. And Ray just exploded in popularity after that. Full circle, my internship, Ray switched to the NBC affiliate in Charlotte. That's where I did my second internship and ended up getting my first job in television as a weather producer, and got to work for Ray Boylan. And that was just, literally working for my idol was amazing. So Ray and Terry Bennett together, sort of my idols out of the Charlotte market.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I think
Yeah.
you told me that story last
Yeah.
time I was down and I looked into it. So
Yeah,
that's,
incredible.
Mine was John Belsky. We have his book, The Gardening One.
Yep.
Grew up with him. Tom Wills was there. It was Mom's station growing up at the time. And then Kevin Harnett was still the chief, still is the chief.
Kevin's great.
Shout out to him. Great guy. That whole Wave team
Yeah.
is awesome. Also, shout out to our sister station, Wave 3. Their meteorologist, Ryan Hope, just won an Emmy. He's the one that makes those crazy 3D graphics.
Crazy 3D graphics. Wave, also home to,
Still miss her.
still miss her, Jessica Dobson.
Jessica, we miss you.
Yeah, we miss you, Jessica.
I mean, we love you, Matt B, if you're watching this
Yeah,
too.
love you,
but-
Matt B. Jessica, if you remember, Jessica was our weekend meteorologist, 2 years ago now, from Louisville. Got the opportunity to go home.
Good for
we
her.
We couldn't.
No.
Keep her.
Yeah.
We couldn't keep her,
And she's killing it.
and she's killing it up there.
Killing it up home.
I think we should test Will's weather
I was about
knowledge.
to say that. Should
Yeah.
we shoot the breeze?
Let's shoot the breeze a little bit.
All right. I will say you can always ask these questions to us. Comments, Facebook messages. However, I think we got a total of 10. We don't have to ask all those because, Will, good luck. But we will ask a few
And if you get them wrong, you're kicked off the podcast.
all right.
forever.
We won't even air it if I get it wrong.
Watch
This
us.
one is a blank sheet. So good job, Andrew.
That's a good one. Yeah.
All right, Will, you ready?
All right, let's see it.
This is from Alan via YouTube. If I live 20 feet above sea level, does that mean I'd flood with a 21-foot storm surge? Good question, Alan.
Foot of water? Right? I mean, that's a
Technicalities here, I feel like.
A
Yeah.
lot of technicalities here. Number one, if we ever get a 21-foot storm surge,
yeah, that's a
God
problem.
help us.
I wish we could have done like 5 feet, 6 feet, but
God help us.
yeah.
Let's do a little switcheroo on that. Throw in a little fun fact that just is stuck in my head. 22 feet was the highest storm surge ever recorded on the east coast of the United States from Hurricane Hugo, Bulls Bay, South Carolina, just south of McClellan.
I didn't realize it was 22. I thought it was 19.
22 is the peak.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
heard that one.
Yeah.
Dang.
Bulls Bay. Yeah. Highest on the East Coast.
And we know what that did.
So, you're 20 feet above sea level. We have a 21-foot storm surge. There are a lot of technicalities with that, depending on, is that storm surge at high tide? Is that storm surge at low tide? Are there crashing waves on top of that storm surge? If you're 20 feet above sea level, if you're kind of asking for, because you're 20 feet above sea level, probably going to be okay. But again, a lot of technicalities there, depending on a lot of different factors.
One of the big technicalities, too, is proximity to the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
you could be 20 feet above sea level and live in Hainer and
Yeah.
be just fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Right.
But obviously, if you're talking about Myrtle Beach, I think a lot of people, too, get confused on what that mean of sea level is or the storm surge. Remember, we talk about what mean sea level is, and then you have the anomalies of low and high tide. You're right, though. You time that storm surge out with high tide, you can add a couple extra feet to
Yeah,
that.
it's bad.
So hopefully that helps. We would never, hopefully, deal with the 21.
If we were ever
storm
forecasting
surge.
a 21-foot storm surge,
Get out.
I would not
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah, but I
We're
don't
not
think any
gonna
of
be
us
doing
would
it from here.
We would be doing a remote
Yeah,
coverage
from, like,
somewhere
the
else.
mountains.
Yeah, Alan, good question.
Yeah, good stuff.
I'll let you draw,
All
Jamie.
right. Going in here. Y'all know I'm blind. Ooh. Ooh. I'm going to let either one of you answer this one. How do you measure the heat index compared to the actual temperature? This is Margaret via YouTube.
You want to go first and then I'll follow?
I actually got this question the other day from one of my friends. They were
Really?
like, why do we need the heat index if the actual air temperature is something else? I'm like, well, it doesn't factor in the humidity, and sometimes they try to say they factor in the wind speed and stuff with it.
Yeah,
so
they can.
you need that extra information so you can know actually how hot it feels outside,
Yeah.
because the humidity makes a big difference,
Oh, yeah.
especially if the dew point's 80 degrees and it's 80 outside.
I think of my my weather instrument class with the hygrometers and all that back in the day.
And there's actually a formula.
Yeah,
There's a math formula. We don't do math anymore. Basically, it's a formula.
it is a formula, and
And
what this humidity does is basically it measures the amount of moisture in the air. So we talk about when, the temperature's 88. 88's hot
88's
for
hot.
some people.
Yeah.
But you add in a 75-degree dew point, and
Yeah.
you have that much moisture, your humidity levels are so high that it's going to make it feel even warmer than 88.
Warmer air holds more moisture. Around here, we have no shortage of moisture, so we can get really warm and really hot, and at the same time, get really humid. And that's how we end up with our ridiculous heat index around here sometimes.
And if you want a rough estimate, you can actually look at like a heat index chart.
Yeah.
They have some of those where you could see the temperatures here, the dew points here, rough estimate. I'm glad you said wind speed, though, because wind speed and cloud cover can make it feel cooler or less or higher, depending on what's going on.
Yeah. And as a general rule of thumb around here, I like to use 105. Like it's kind of standard for us to have a heat index 100, 101, 102. That's kind of that's every day in the summer.
Yeah.
You start getting over 105 for us.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when we start to get into the dangerous category.
And then they put out heat advisories from 110, right?
105 to 110.
105 to 110 is a heat advisory. Anything over 110 is an excessive heat warning, which thankfully we don't get a lot of. And we haven't had a single heat advisory.
Yeah.
No,
we had
two.
one in
or two.
Scotland County.
Yeah.
What kills me here, this is not a knock on National Weather Service.
I know what you're going with on this.
What kills me here compared to back home is if anyone hits 105, immediate heat advisory.
Yeah.
Here it's a little bit more like it needs to be a widespread thing, which I get.
Yeah.
You have a widespread area of 105 heat, cool. There was like a couple times, a couple weeks ago, we hit like 110, but you go far enough inland and you're like 102.
Yeah.
That sea breeze has so much influence on the heat index where it's tough. So back home we had 105. It's like, oh my goodness, we're never going outside. Here, just move a little bit further inland and you may actually escape the heat, or the humidity, I should say.
Yeah.
Good question.
Next.
Who was that from? Do we remember?
Margaret.
Margaret.
Via YouTube. Look at all the YouTube people. I love that. Yeah, that was Margaret.
This one's not appropriate for Will.
Uh-oh. Okay. We'll sit this one out.
We'll sit this one out. What's your favorite drink recipe? Care to share it? From Steve via YouTube.
Steve needs to go back and listen.
Listen to the
Come
episodes.
on, Steve. You need to go back. We know what mine is.
Yeah, Cosmo.
The Cosmo. I'm bringing it back single-handedly. I've converted you.
You have. I have at least a couple Cosmos a week.
You texted me last night.
I did. I said, this Cosmo.
That's all I got from Andrew. This Cosmo.
With a little heart.
Yep.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I also do old fashioned, which is, I skip all the bitter, or not the bitters, the orange peel and the cherry, just because the bartender could do that. But that's your simple old fashioned recipe. Honestly, other than that, I'm pretty basic. Bourbon is my expertise, unless it's a Cosmo these days, which is the perfect summer drink.
And winter. And fall. And spring.
365 days a year.
And morning
It's
and dinner.
the greatest drink.
I promise I'm not a alcoholic. This one is from Anonymous, and we kind of already covered this, so we're just going to glide past this one. If someone is interested in a career in meteorology, what would you give them? My number one advice, I said it a few minutes ago, immerse yourself in it.
Yeah.
Just immerse yourself in it. Whether it's books, whether it's watching, like now you can spend a year watching videos and things on YouTube. Ask for tours of TV stations. Ask to visit a local National Weather Service. Talk to people. Reach out to meteorologists and just immerse yourself in it.
I feel like, too, you go ahead.
That's
That's what you
I
did?
Yeah.
I feel like, too, if you don't immerse yourself in it, the people that are looking to hire you down the road will know.
Yeah.
I can easily tell when someone comes in for a job interview, even not weather, if it's for reporting or whatever, how invested they already were into it because of the passion that shows.
Yeah.
I think if you go back to, I don't even know the episodes at this point, they all run together. Remember when you said you bring an interview out, and what's the first thing they do?
Yeah.
Look up.
Look up.
It shows that they're interested in what's happening in the weather. So whatever that is, embrace it, whether that's Twitter, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, watching newscasts. Jenna could tell you once a week we'll sit down and I'll say, all right, what market are we watching today? and we'll just type it in and just watch, just to get ideas.
Yeah.
You can never not be engulfed in it enough. So
Yeah. Agreed. Your turn.
do one more, two more.
Yeah, let's do a few more.
What we got here?
Hope it's a good one for Will. Something hard.
Joey via YouTube. Joey, thank you. Why did they call it a cold front in the summertime?
Because it's bringing colder air. I mean, I like to say cool front.
Yeah, and I always say on air, especially this time of the year when we do get a cold front, it's not going to be cold. It's going to be a little bit less hot. I don't want to say that's kind of the technical thing, but in the technical sense, it is a cold front, the leading edge of cooler and usually drier air.
Yeah, the separating line between the warmer air mass and the cooler air mass. So
we call it a cold front, and it's as simple as that. Cool front, yes.
Especially here in South Carolina.
Here in South Carolina, that's where we kind of get into the art of weather forecasting.
Are you going to tell your secret of how you tell this?
Which one?
Just how you show a cold front moving through on a hot summer day.
I
have a secret. Okay, you won't show it?
I won't put a cold front on a map.
Okay, yeah.
Now, if it's a cold front in like October and it's going to drop us 40 degrees and it's going to blast through and it's a noticeable change, I'm absolutely going to show a cold front on a map.
Yeah.
If it's July or August and we go from 94 to 91 behind a cold front, I'm not going to show it.
Yeah.
It complicates the map. It slows things down.
Yep.
And that's not the story.
Yep.
I will either change it to where if I know it's going to stall out, it'll be a stationary front already.
Yep.
There it is. Or I'll have a cold front to our north and do that little dissipating option to where it just fades out.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it didn't make it through. So.
And even a lot of times in the fall and winter and spring, I will show sort of a temperature map that will show you the push of the colder air. I think that tells the story better than, a blue line with some triangles on it. It takes less time, but also a lot of people just don't know what a cold front is on a weather map.
Yeah.
They can't tell the difference between a cold front, a warm front, and a stationary front, and an included front. So why bog them down with that?
That's good. And it takes more time for me.
And it takes more time for us.
Yeah.
So
And
it's going to be colder tomorrow.
I do what you do with the temperature trend. I either show the trend, but like as far as the cold front, I just give it an honorable mention.
Yeah,
perfect
sum.
That's all it
sum up to that.
needs.
Yeah, honorable
if
mention.
it's going 95 to 91, then
What's the point?
Because I could promise you if you spend more time on the cold front and not on the 7-day or the next day or someone's area.
I thought you said it was gonna get cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People hear cold front.
He
and
hears
they-
it.
I hear it too.
Oh, God, you make me sick.
We'll do one more.
One more.
And then
All
we
right.
got to rank our months.
Oh, yeah, ranking
And then
months.
give a shout out to where we can find a wheel.
Take my glasses off.
Oh.
I love this one. We actually talked about this one off air. Is it a myth that when you see lightning and then start counting, and once you hear the thunder, that's how far away the storm is? This is Kristen via email.
I got asked this the other day too.
Yes.
Actually, it was yesterday. Yeah, I got asked that yesterday. Isn't it 5 seconds?
It is
every mile.
It is 5 seconds. So let's walk through this once and for all.
Yep.
So you see a flash of lightning. You start counting. Like we always tell the kids in school, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and you count. Those are seconds. You count until you hear the thunder. Now, a lot of people stop there, so they may count to 25.
That's where it gets wrong.
That's where it gets wrong, and that's where it can mess you up. They count to 25, and like, oh, that lightning strike was 25 miles away.
Yeah,
No.
no.
You take that number,
Yeah.
you divide it by 5.
Yep.
So suddenly what you thought was 25 miles away is now 5 miles away. So that is critical. If you count to 5, you're getting awfully close.
Yeah, and you need to be inside.
If you can't make it to 1 or 2, you better have your butt inside.
Yeah.
Because it is close. The tricky thing around here, though, as our storms are so electrified in the summer, it's hard a lot of times to tell which thunder goes with which lightning strike. So kind of have to pay attention to that. But yeah, take that number, divide it by 5.
Divided by 5, and you'll be set. It's a little bit easier when you go to a place like back home for me, Kentucky, where one storm only has so much. Here, the only time it would probably work in the summertime would be maybe during night.
Maybe during the night. But yeah, well,
During the afternoon, good luck.
Like, a few weeks ago we were having, 600-700 lightning strikes every 15 minutes. There's no way you can keep up.
One, two.
Right.
And then another thing with lightning, it's just like everyone's heat lightning. I'm like, that's not a thing. You're just seeing a distant thunderstorm.
Yes.
So-
Pet peeve. Pet peeve is the heat lightning. No such thing.
And
All right.
my stepmom will still tell me that heat lightning is a thing, and
It's funny because Kristen, that came from our digital manager for all of our content, she was the one that asked that and also asked about heat lightning.
Yeah.
So I was like, she already knows the answer to that.
And my favorite thing to do now, because everyone around here in the studio has heard me go on a rant about heat lightning, how it's not a thing. And it's kind of a joke now about how much I hate heat lightning, the term heat lightning. So now, like, when we're all out together and there's lightning, I'm like, oh, look, it's heat lightning. And it confuses them. They're like, what? You said it. I'm just messing with you guys.
So we're talking about summertime. We're talking about the heat and the humidity. Let's go around the room and your top 3 months.
Top 3.
Top 3.
And I guess we're relating this to weather. Or
However
just
you want
in
to relate
general.
it.
Favorite month, number 1. June.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Surprising for me.
Really?
June.
Okay.
It's not sweltering hot. Summer is coming on, but it's still kind of comfortable.
Okay.
We start getting the more reliable summer storms, which I just love. I just love our storms in the summer. And it's just kind of the excitement of summer is getting here, and you can still be outside and enjoy it. So I love June.
Okay.
Love June.
Okay.
Number 2, January.
I knew that was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought
yeah.
that was going to be one.
No. You all know, the colder, the rainier, the more miserable the weather, especially in the winter, the more I love it. You may 40 degrees, a 25-mile-per-hour wind, and drizzle.
Oh,
The perfect day.
Jamie said.
The perfect day for me. If we're going to do winter, let's do winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3, April. I can finally get out in my garden and really
that's
start to
good.
work it. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to go number 1 for me would be October.
Okay.
Full time. We got married in October.
Nice.
That's not why I said that, but October. You still get temperature swings.
Yep.
I'm going to go number 2 as May.
Okay.
Kentucky Derby time. Things are blooming. It's like nice, not too hot, not too cool. And probably my number 3 would be February.
Yeah. Okay.
January, February are about the same for me.
Yeah.
February, I just feel like there's no shot of warmer air coming in at that point.
Right.
So it's like you're set, you're locked in. It's chili season, crock pot.
The best.
Every weekend, it's
Yeah.
something's in there. What about you, Will?
1, December. I
Like
love
Christmas.
the cooler weather, and I'm such a Christmas fan. You all know that.
And your birthday is Christmas.
Yeah, birthday is
Yeah.
Christmas.
December 25th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, October. I like to see the changing
Oh,
leaves and
beautiful.
just drive down a back road with nothing but trees.
Sounds like a country song.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, pretty much. And plus, I put my Christmas tree up in October.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love Christmas, but that's not the reason.
Yeah,
Okay.
but falling leaves is why
Yeah.
I said
Okay.
October.
Yeah.
Number 3 is going to be, it's difficult because I can go spring or late summer, but I'll say August.
Get out. Ugh.
August.
Yeah,
My birthday's in August, and I can't stand August.
it's all right. In a sense, I like the heat, but I don't like to be just out in the heat and humidity all day long. But I do enjoy some aspects of the heat because it pops off thunderstorms. The humidity helps bring that to be. So that's why I said late summer. So August.
Okay.
I'm going to say my least favorite is August.
Okay.
My second least favorite is March. By that point, the warm air is starting to come in. I don't want it to get here fully.
Yeah.
It's like it's very bipolar. Make up your mind. Do you want it to? I want to figure out severe weather. It looks like it's going to do something, but it always waits till April or May. And then probably July is number 3. I love 4th of July, but I don't like the weather.
This is a little tougher for me. August and absolute worst. I've already gone through my August rant. I despise this month with every fiber of my being.
Yeah.
September comes in as a close
See, I
second.
thought about that because it's always hot here.
It is, and September's either around here is either going to go one or two ways. It's going to be miserably boring because the summer storms kind of stop.
Yeah.
Late August, September, the daily storms stop. It's still hot. It's still humid, so it's boring. unless we're getting blasted by a hurricane.
Yeah.
So I despise September. It's just a really, outside of a hurricane, it's a dull time. If we get a hurricane, we're working too much and I'm exhausted and even more grumpy than I normally am. Number 3 would have to be probably July, just because it's August adjacent. And like once you
it's like preheating the oven.
yeah. Like I love up until July 4th. For me, I could put my Christmas tree up and start carving pumpkins on July 5th. Like after July 4th, summer's over for me.
That's the other thing about September. I'm glad you brought it up. It's so hot, but everyone's so ready for fall that I can't focus.
We can't focus. We're like, I'm looking for an excuse to wear my new sweater.
My body's wanting fall, but
right, and it's still 87. I'm like, you know what? I'm wearing my sweater anyway. Then I'm even more miserable because I'm hot going to dinner in a sweater in September. Yeah.
Oh, what about you, Will?
All right, we'll go number 1 as September.
Yeah.
Number 2, July. And I think I'll go number 3 with May.
But yet August was number 1. July,
Well, okay,
September.
well, it gets hot in July. I don't like it, but by August I'm used to it. So
I don't get your logic, Will, but you know what? That's what makes the world go round.
There's someone that agrees right there with you.
I
I'm
have
sure.
to get used to it. So
I never get used to it.
Me either. I just complain all the time.
Yeah.
I did love the low humidity this week. I will say
that was a nice little treat.
We're getting close to our time. Will, for the future of Will's weather, where can people go?
Yeah.
well, you know,
This is to promote you, not
yeah,
us.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, got my Facebook.
Yep.
I have
Which is
Will's Weather
Will's
at
Weather.
Will's WX. I started a Threads, but I don't really use it anymore.
As did the rest of the world.
Yeah. So
I was like, oh,
You're
this
still-
is going to be
you're
awesome.
Still all threads.
And it's so much work.
I think I
Yeah,
did like 3 threads,
exactly.
and then I think I saw a stat like the users are down like 70%.
Well, yeah, because they haven't done anything after they launched it.
So I'm happy that it's there.
And
So,
now
I mean-
X looks like Threads, and I'm like, wait, is that Threads or is that X?
just
Elon,
trying to be the same now. All right. Well,
We're ranting.
right?
I have an Instagram. It's wills.wx because Will's WX was taken. All right. I have my website, wills-weather.com. Then you can find me on YouTube, Will's Weather.
Yeah. So just search Will's Weather.
Yeah.
You'll
He'll
find
pop
him.
up.
You'll find
You'll find him. He'll be everywhere.
You'll probably find him before you search Andrew
You look up
or
Will's
Jamie.
Weather and go to images. I'm like on there because of my Facebook profile.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Type in Jamie's weather, and I'm sure
What,
he's not on there.
you search up Andrew stuffing his face from dining with Doctor.
Probably, yeah, probably.
Yeah. What's coming up?
So we have to give a Jenna update.
We'll do that. Yep.
Next episode
Yep, what
is her
else?
last week. I don't know. What do you want to do? I was going to do a tropical episode, but
Yeah.
flat right now. So we get a new Colorado State forecast.
Yeah, we're heading into the heart of hurricane season. We've thought about bringing in some of our incredible local photographers. So we're going to line that up. Let's send it to the people. Is there anything that you really want us to talk about?
No.
We'll go through the question box and come up with some more episode themes.
Yeah. It's been kind of like nice for us to focus on this. We have a lot happening in our weather department, I feel like, right now,
Yeah.
that you'll see eventually down the road.
Yeah.
But between Are You Cirrus and that and Jenna, it's been a busy but very
Crazy
good summer.
times. Yeah.
Good summer.
Another reason to hate August.
It'll slow down eventually. Will, thank you for being on, man.
Yes. course. Thanks for having
Thank you.
me.
Who, by the way, drove all the way down from Columbia just for this.
I know.
It left at 5:30 this morning to come here to be on Are You Serious?
That's crazy.
That's how big we are. Blow it up.
Y'all my favorites. So
Everyone else that's coming down here expected to drive and leave at 5:30
Right.
just to be here.
Yep. Yep.
That's
So,
awesome.
so yeah, this has been episode 18 of Are You Serious? Will, thank you again.
course.
Thanks for everybody for the questions, and don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, download, text, email, send questions.
We won't talk about how Jamie stole my seat either, as I look at this.
I did. It's so nice sitting here because I don't have that awful angle anymore. So that's great. So this may be a permanent set change. But anyway, this has been episode 18 of Are You Serious? Thank you so much, everybody. And again, thank you, Will, and we will see you next time.
Cheers.